welcome to Workiom. In today's video, we're going to show you a combination of a very strong feature we have reserved for you on the platform, which is automation combined with public form, and how well we can make this work together. The best example that we thought of today is a job application in which it is filled over public forms that could be distributed over any channel or embedded on your website, and then how automation can help us going from one stage to another. So without further ado, let's show you how this works. So for the sake of this example today, for this use case, we created a very simple HR system. Now remember, like any other application on Workiom, you can customize it to your need, as many tables as you need, as well as many fields as you see fit. So in our case, we have this three lists. The first one is job titles or job posting, consisted of the recruiter email, plus of course the title, in which department we are recruiting for. This is, by the way, a static list. You can add and customize based on your need, an open or close status, as well as start and date. The next step list, which is connected to it, by the way, is the applicant. So this is where people who are applying for our job are being automatically saved and added. And they are, of course, connected to the jobs they are applying to. Finally, we have the meeting request, in which we are storing all the meeting requests for interviews with the applicants that have applied to our job. So let's now have some fun and go to the job application and see what happens behind the scenes. So for our example, we are just going to create a new candidate called Beige Peacock. I'm going to give her my email because this will show you how what we're going to do next. So we need to see a proof of actually receiving the email. So this gal live in the United States, and her phone number, just for the fun of it. Okay. She's applying for the growth hacker job, and she can start with us as soon as the 1st of October. Her current job is online marketer, job is kids and family. This is the name of the company. You see here, of course, you can upload a PDF file or a CV, or both of them at the same time. I'm not going to, let's just, for the fun of it, put any PDF file. This one is fine. And let's submit it. So the form has been submitted. Automatically, we'll see that here in the applicant list, we are going to have Beige Peacock. So we also have here, a very interesting view, which is the Kanban one. And here you can see that we have Beige Peacock in no status. We can, of course, change it automatically, put it into new, review. And as we go on, this, of course, could trigger different type of automations. Now, if I'd like, Beige, and I would like to interview her, then I will go to meeting requests. And here was where I created a very interesting automation, and I'll show it to you before we actually make the meeting request. So here is new meeting request, and in this automation, that is recorded by the creation of the new meeting, and with the condition that is not finished, because it could happen that we actually add a meeting request after we've met for different, for a different scenario or use case. So I just need to make sure that it hasn't been finished. I will send an email to both the applicant and as well as the recruiter. And here's the message body. So, dear applicant, you are kindly convened to for an interview, etc., etc. Of course, all of these, between brackets, I've shown you this in another video, are information that we have on the record. And this is another action. So this is also something nice about automations in Workiom, that you can create multiple actions for the same trigger. The second trigger here is update link record of the applicant and change its status automatically to interview. So let's see how this works. Cancel, I haven't changed anything. And I'm going to create a new meeting request for page. And the applicant here is page. As you see here, any field that you have in gray means that they are automatically calculated and that you cannot actually change. So here, the name is calculated. I think the name of the applicant plus the job posting. The recruiter will come automatically from the job that you are interviewing her for, as well as the email of the recruiter. So all of these are lookup fields. And now for the date and time, I'd like to interview her, next week, and preferably in the morning, so 10 a.m. And the location is in headquarters. I'm just gonna keep it very simple for this example. Status is planned. And here is actually the note, and the note are reserved to me. Either before or after, I can keep adding as much as I want, or I can create comments afterwards. So I'm just gonna save and hit continue just to show you. So this is also a nice feature about Workiom, is you can actually save and stay on the same record page in order to see what's happened. So here, you see that the recruiter email has came, the email of the applicant as well. So now let's move and see what happened actually in the automation. Did it work or not? And of course it does work. You see that page has moved to interview. We have the process here. She has moved into this new stage. Now, did we receive the emails? So let's go here. And as you see, indeed, we have an email for myself, considering me that I am, page. And this is me in CC, who is the recruiter. Now, let's go back to our original application and see the other automation that I created for you guys. And this one is update meeting requests. So let's say that something came up and I have to change either the meeting place or the time, or just simply cancel it. So this is what happens and could happen in various cases. And I chose the automation to be value change. So value change is a very smart one. You choose the list and you choose the status that you are currently monitoring, and or the field that you would like to see if it has changed or not. And here I say status, and I've said that is unless it's canceled and finished, please send an email. And the email is, of course, to both the recruiter and the applicant. And dear applicants, please take note of the changes in your meeting, etc., the new timing. And again, this is all information coming from the record. Now, why have I said canceled and finished? Because if it's finished, there is no actually update to be sent to the applicant, and canceled should be a different text saying, for example, sorry, but we would like to inform you that we have canceled your meeting with us, so on and so forth. So let's close this, and I'm going to do I'm going to for the same page for the same page meeting request, and I'm going to change it from planned to confirmed, for example. And this time I will just change the date. I will make it maybe the 24th, And this is a simple automation. I could have made it a little bit more complex. So for example, saying that if I change the date of time instead of the status, or the same thing, go for the location and will, make the same action. So save. So now supposedly I should receive an email. Let's go to my email client, and you see here, indeed, I have got the meeting request changed, dear page calc, etc., etc. And here I am in CC as, the recruiter. So let's do one last thing together. So, we could have a little bit more fun with the applications. And let's say that, you know what, when a new applicant has actually came to our system, what should we do? So here is the record created. This is the three types of triggers that we have. So in this case, it's a new applicant, means a new record. On the list, applicant, continue. And here I would like, well, the first thing, why not just upload, update the same record. So the triggered record, and to make a status as new instead of with no status. Okay, so this, is straightforward. Now, what can I do next is, oh, sorry about that. I will come back to it. So new applicant. I would add another action, which is actually notify the recruiter on the system now, or send him, an email. So sending in an email is, notifying the user is straightforward. You choose the user that you want to speak to. So for example, in this case, it is me, the recruiter, and you can leave me a message. So for example, a new applicant has applied for, or a new candidate, to have a better, English to it for, and here I would say, position, for example. But, this is straightforward. Let's do something a little bit more challenging. I would do the email, and the email I would like to send it for the applicant. So you see here we have a small problem. The email, for the recruiter. The email that we have here is the applicant email, and we don't have the recruiter email. So what should we do? We could do a very simple thing, go static, and just add my email, for example. That wouldn't make sense, because you could end up with multiple recruiters on the same application. So I'm just going to delete this one. We need to make a small change on our list for this, in order for this to work. So I'm just going to save it, come back to the applicants. And here, since we do have a position, so we know for which job post the candidate is applying to, and we know that here in the jobs we could get the recruiter email, then all I can easily do add a recruiter, or fetch the recruiter email from the job list using the lookup function. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. It's recruiter email, and the type is email, and it's a lookup from the position, and here it is. So I'm not going to make it visible, because it's an information that is maybe not, not important for everyone to see, but I could still use it in automation, as you're going to see next. So I'm just going to click save, come back here, go to the automation now, go to our latest added or created automation, going to edit it and add a new action. And here I'm just gonna do send email, and this time you see I will have the recruiter email, so I would have no problem whatsoever. And here you got a new candidate. Dear, you know recruiter email. So this, I could have also added maybe the name, but that's all right for this example. I'm just gonna add some spaces, and here candidate has applied for job, I think it's post position at, and I can here also creation date, which is a system field, and here again, sorry about that, enjoy. Done. Save. I'm going back to now to the applicants form. I just say that Kim Lee. I'm gonna add my email. I don't want to, spam anyone, and I'm going to choose growth hacker. And it's fine. I can submit it as it is right now. So here in Virtue, if you see the status has been automatically made to new, and by default I should receive an email. Here it is. Dear Sinan Hatahed, Kimli has applied for growth hacker at exactly the time, and so on and so forth. So there is plenty of things that you can do with this combination of automation as well as public forms. Really, there is no limitation in what you can do and what you can achieve. This is a simple example that I gave for an HR, but you can do the same for requests, for bug, for example, discovery, for tickets. And maybe I will show you this actually in different cases in future videos. I hope you like this. If you have any remarks, please do not hesitate to let me know about them. And if you have any specific requests for use cases, do not forget to email us at support@workiom.com. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.